Hello everybody and welcome back to more SMT4 Apocalypse. Last time, we were not level 99. We are now. Let's have a look at the party right now. Level 99 max. Just max level. The only way I'm increasing my stats further are through incense, which I need a little bit to make agility get to the 200. I don't know if your stats are actually affected anymore. They give you the maxed out beam, but the number can keep going up, so I guess it just means like, oh, their stats are too much for us to calculate or some shit. Here are my moves. Antichthon, which is severe, it's a level beyond Megidolaon in terms of Almighty. And if I'm smirking and I use it, I debuff all of my opponent's stats. And it hits everyone. We have Judgment Light, severe light attack, as you know. Thunder Guise, which is severe electric on one enemy. It pierces. And same for Force or Wind type. And for Ice type. I don't have one for Fire. We also have Luster Candy, which increases the attack, defense, and hit and evasion rate of everyone. So, a super buff, and Salvation, which fully heals everyone's HP, and when smirking, removes all ailments. So, aside from that, that's how we're doing with him. Our headliner, what I'd like to say is our most powerful demon, Vile Demiurge. An imperfect god of Gnosticism, who created the material world. According to the Gnostics of the Roman Empire, the Demiurge proclaims himself as God. When Adam and Eve gained knowledge, he cast them out in anger. The Demiurge wishes for the souls of humans to be trapped in the material world forever. It is where I got Antichthon, or however you say that. We also got Thunder Rain on him, which is severe electric to everybody. Drain Light, Bufadine Null Mind, which is nullifies all sleep, panic, charm, and mute. Luster Candy, and Chakra Walk, which means I can just walk around and get him MP back, so no worries there. My favorite thing, though, Drain Light, because it then made me go and look at what his resistances are, which are standard damage with bullets and normal attacks, and then he resists all of the 4 main elements and drains light and darkness. He's just that good. Next up, we have Mastema, the Herald, which is a level 93, I believe, demon you can get through Special Fusion, which I need 3 demons for. And this is the angel who persecutes evil in the Hebrew folklore. He carries out punishments for God. He tempts humans and tests their faith. He asks God to permit him to have demons as his subordinates. In the Zadokite fragments and the Dead Sea Scrolls, he is the angel of disaster, the father of all evil, and a flatterer of God. And he has Megidolaon, Judgment Light, Deadly Wind, Ice Age, Victory Cry, so whenever we're done with the battle, he fully heals. He repels guns, and he's null electricity, which means he repels gun-type attacks, he's weak to fire, but repels ice, null to lightning, repels wind, and repels light. So, from what I can tell here, it seems to be half of the things that you could throw at him, he's going to throw right back at you. He's also null mute, in general. So, real good. And then lastly, we have Samael, the Fallen. A mysterious angel whose name means poison of God. He's often depicted as a serpent. Opinions differ on whether he is fallen or not, but either way, he's linked with death. And he has Great Logos, which is a severe almighty attack. It's like the other one that I have on myself, as well as, what the fuck is your Demiurge? So it's kind of like Antichthon, but it does not have the smirking effect. So, that's the difference. It also costs 20 less MP to use. Mabufadam, Maziodine, Shivering Taboo, inflicts several ailments to all enemies. Salvation, so fully heals. Repel Dark, and Doping. Doping being a move that increases the maximum HP of all allies during battle, so maybe we start a fight, I pop a Doping and then heal, and then next thing you know, we're even stronger than before. So, this is our team. I've looked up, you know, impression threads and other stuff for this game, because again, I'm recording this on September 26th. It has not even been a week yet since the game has come out. It's one day short of a week. And people have said I had to be at level 99 on all of my demons to beat the final boss, and I still barely won. So in my mind, that means this team might not even be good enough. But that's good, we still have plenty of boss fights to go before the end of the game. This might not be the final dungeon, there might be like one last little like warped reality or some weird dimension that we go through. But either way, if I am a little stronger than I should be, and like I'm killing guys with no effort, then we'll switch. I doubt it, because in case you're wondering, I'm a fucking bomb. And when I blow up, there's gonna be nothing left. And if anything survives my bomb, I'm fucked. Because those blue MP meters are gonna mean a lot. And when they run out, KZ will have problems. It's all the same to you guys. I'm gonna see. I should have a stoma on someone here. There we go. Oh, I had to sneeze. But needless to say, I've never been this strong in an SMT game before. It's pretty amazing. But really a testament to this game's actually, if you want to beat it, expects you to basically get everything. It expects you to do the whole game. It expects you to, you know, create some of the strongest demons in existence. Like, no other SMT game I've felt like I have been expected to just, you know, go and fuse some 90s. Special thanks to the $3 DLC they give you that lets you get items that when you use them makes you level up on your next fight automatically. That's the only reason I was able to do this easily. All it does is it cuts out time, to be honest. Because leveling up demons is always been bad, because they take like so much more work than you do as the main character. So they have like 4 times larger experience pools. So to be able to just go boom, 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 and just get, you know, in a matter of like 2 or 3 minutes, already be completely leveled on a demon, and then being able to whisper their skills is very much appreciated. Where the fuck do I go, though? Do I go straight from here? Yeah, there's something here. Alright. First boss, then. Oh my god, it's Beelzebub.
I am Beelzebub. I was reduced to the Lord of Flies, buzzing around shit since the Demon Lord is no more. I will unleash my hatred in service of the divine powers.
Oh?
I am born. Mother Inanna has given me new form. Worship me anew, humans. Embrace salvation, or be struck down by my lightning.
I'm disappointed. I like Beelzebub. I like him more than this design. Why? Because it's Beelzebub. He's fucking sick. But I guess we'll have to deal. Alright. Luster Candy. Let's buff everybody up. I don't feel the need to do it on everyone multiple times. I think one's good enough. Let's feel out some of his attacks.
This isn't good.
Like, nothing about that was fucking good. Okay, first things first, Mapatra. Let's go ahead and reset ourselves a little bit here. How's ice do on you? Weak to ice. Good. Well, that's great because there's actual ice spells on every single one of my characters. Including the strongest form of ice, Ice Age. Having something's weakness covered is really gonna help trivialize some of this, which I appreciate.
Leave it to me.
Alright. Let's lay on the hurt and then get ready to do another round of ice spam.
My time to shine. Behold my heroism. Amazing, right?
I know. Oh, didn't get a lot of smirks out of that. Yeah, I keep wanting to use another candy, but it's too much of a waste. Oh, so good. I gotta be prepared for whatever he throws at me right after this move. And no ailments. We're fucking covered.
No hatred. No hatred.
Alright, yeah, he's not gonna fucking get in at all against me. Sorry to say. Really, this was a given anytime I have, like, the weakness on all four of my characters, and then it's like, okay, let me stomp you into the fucking ground. But man, do these guys have a lot of health. Done. No speech either, because I guess he's considered trash. Yeah.
Hell, like we sided with God or anything. The way the divine powers see it, anyone who isn't with them is with God.
Oh, so now we're taking on that baggage too? I don't like this.
The real problem is Inanna.
Inanna.
Yes. Her power is what transformed Beelzebub into Baal.
Yeah, Inanna can just say, hey, you see this demon? I'm gonna make it fucking Digiball.
Each rebirth strengthens the ranks of the divine powers.
So, until we defeat Inanna, the divine powers will have an endless supply of new gods? That's bad.
Need to take her out of the picture first then. Can't have her making more monsters. Let's go find her and finish this.
You can now fuse Beelzebub and Baal. It's cool. It's like, yo, these two gods, you can make those guys now. Whoa!
Welcome to the Cathedral of
Let me look at those. There's Odin. I was hoping it was somewhere up here close. Oh, there he is. Look at him. I'd need... This guy looks like he's flipping someone off. And you... He's also 79. I don't expect to use these guys much. Alright. As it stands, these are the ones I'm gonna be... These are the demons in my party I'll be sticking with for at least a little bit. I kind of want... Part of me wants to go get Megatron. Some call him Metatron, but they don't know how to read. It's Megatron. Sorry about that. I have Twitter open and someone tried to send me a fucking malware link. It's like, click this tiny URL link to get this Final Fantasy 15 season pass. And I'm like, what? First of all,
Welcome.
it's good to see that that's mainstream enough. But two, no.
Be
I'm not gonna believe that shit. Alright, let's get a Stoma back up. Rather not waste too much of my time here. I can get demons on my off time. I did want to do a little bit of discussion of what I think of this game as we are continuing to get closer to the end. And I feel like my opinion of the overall game isn't really going to change that much. Ah, this is a warp back. Get in this butthole. So I want to do like my overall thoughts on the game, because I'm like level 99 and I'm starting to, we're clearly at an end game point here. While there might be a mini dungeon after this and then like final boss stuff, it's like we're close enough. So this game's real good. This is a hell of a lot better than SMT4 was. Now, what's interesting about this game is the amount of like this game's clear lack of budget like shows through real good in this game, because so much of this game is built on stuff that you've already played before if you played the previous game. And just a severe lack of visuals, it's clear to me that the budget for this game was not as big as SMT4, but also, SMT4 didn't have the biggest budget either. What was interesting is because the last, SMT game that came before SMT4 was Strange Journey, and that game is like a, dungeon crawler on the DS. The mainline Shin Megami Tensei games have fallen a fair bit, compared to their spin-off title, Persona, that's getting releases on the PS4. And you would hope that maybe you would get a armor boost kit and Megiddo Stone. What is that? Like, you would hope that with Persona 5 out, at least in Japan, that they say, hey, we have a lot of assets here. It'd be really cool if we could, like, use these to make some sort of SMT title. Not necessarily a Shin Megami Tensei 5, but just a game that uses the demon assets that they got from Persona 5. I feel like that'd be a good use, because fucking Atlas they are no strangers to asset reuse. Just like all the PS2 SMT games. Like, that stuff lived on that. So that's my hope. But going into this, like, the budget of this game is so low, because it's like so many repeated areas. But thankfully, this game is just a lot more interesting than the okay, these are just random one-note bosses. Okay, cool. Like, this game's a hell of a lot better than SMT4, just in how everything is handled with it. From a story standpoint and from a world standpoint. The only thing it lacks is, a very clever and very nice punch that the original had that you can't really replicate again. Like, you could look at the original Shin Megami Tensei 4, and when you're playing through that, it plays, like your typical, like, Persona-like in a way, almost, because it's like, and also very minimalistic, reminiscent of Persona 3 Portable, where you just have a bunch of menus that you go through instead of, like, running around areas, like the whole Mikado hub. Like, we saw it again recently. Why did I fucking use that? For some reason, I was looking for healing, and that's what I decided to get. But you had minimalist menus and the Naraku dungeon that you seem to keep coming back into, and you kind of get a feel of what the game's trying to show for this first part. Okay, don't use ice. Also, because I'm talking, I'm gonna clearly make mistakes. Please ignore them. I know it's gonna be hard to ignore them, but please ignore them. What was really special about SMT4, at least in that, you know, opening part, where it's like, the game is holding your hand the entire time up until that point. Like, you don't have to worry about where to go or what to do or anything like that. Also, fucking told you guys, fucking this game's still hard even with these strong-ass demons. Like, you're getting your hand held that entire time in that game, and then you get to Tokyo, and then the game opens up, and then the game doesn't tell you fucking shit. And then you have to fucking figure out where you're supposed to go and all this other stuff. But, which is a great feeling until you realize that it's a little bit dumb and way too arbitrary and stupid to try and figure out where you're going, what to do, and stuff like that. But that initial revelation when you fucking go into Tokyo for the first time, at least that's cool, you know? This game lacks that punch. Again, it doesn't lose much from it, you know, lacking that punch, I guess, but I think it's in the fact that there's not going to be anything extremely, like, memorable in terms of, like, a set piece or, like, a moment, aside from, you know, endgame stuff, you know? Like, endgame stuff, it's like, alright, I can remember, like, there's also a limited amount of cutscenes in this game, you know, like, visual cutscenes. So it's like the memorable stuff in this is like all the stuff leading up to this egg event and facing off against Lucifer and Merkaba. Like, they give you a cutscene for that. Other than that, there's really not that much in there, which is a little bit disappointing because you can clearly tell that, you know, that this is a game using assets from the last game they made, which, you know, more power to them. Obviously, they changed the HUD up because it's no longer the, like, black and white theme, and I actually had to look at some SMT4 footage again, and I'm like, oh man, this looks a lot different. I cannot find this dude's weakness for the life of me. But what I really like about this game is the morality, or the choices that you make in this game are not done in a bad way. They give you these options with law and chaos and in neutral, which is potentially going to have more than one path, and I think it's handled well. And I feel like they didn't handle the stuff in SMT4 very well at all, especially because they went with a more ambiguous style in the previous game. With Nocturne, they really succeeded at making something engaging and not so cut and dry as here's your law and chaos choices, and then for some reason they immediately dropped that shit and instead made something that wasn't that good. So I'm glad that they made some changes here. I'm getting my shit kicked in. But I'll say that I do have problems with this game, and most of it has to deal with the story it's trying to tell, because it's just personally with SMT style games, I'm not really looking for a story about how friendship's gonna conquer all and just this camaraderie with friends. I just haven't found it interesting since they've started throwing that shit at me, and that hasn't really changed at all. I mean, it's not like I'm saying fuck the game for, you know, doing that stuff, but it's disappointing. Like, most of the characters, like, I think Nozomi's fucking garbage. Like, it's like, she's Queen of the Fairies and she has a god inside her. Like, okay, aside from that, she's just the character that says, let's go do this. And ever since that moment happened where she basically sold us out to the Hunters Association for literally no good reason at all, I've just stopped liking her. Then a lot of the characters they're just cliched anime characters, you know? It's like there's not too much interesting written about them. The only characters that, you know, I feel like have some interesting stuff going on with them is Hallelujah, because he has that thing going on. But even then, I still think that Gaston's the more interesting one because of his dynamic with Navarre. The Navarre shit gets absolutely ruined because this game's writing for the characters around us, and they take the easy way out with a lot of that writing between Navarre and other characters, and it ends up really taking me out of it. Because whenever Navarre speaks, everyone in the cast has to fucking kick him while he's down. And it's like, fucking, oh man, it's Navarre, he's a piece of shit, you know? He's like he was the overconfident asshole character from the first game, so, you know, he kind of gets kicked, even while he's dead in this case. And every time it happens, I'm like, okay, shut up. Like, fucking... Even when he's trying to have moments that are, like, real and engaging, then someone has to make a joke about him, and then I'm like, okay, that fucking ruins the mood. And I fucking hate that. It's like there's no reason for it. So it really sucks because his, you know, the existence of these characters just start to shine in some of what I find to be bad writing with some really interesting stuff. The SMT stuff and the anime stuff doesn't exactly mix well with me unless it's Persona, because Persona's writers are specifically going for a certain feel, a certain, you know, type of story. So I'm fine when it's all anime goo-goo and shit in that, because, well, that's what that game is. It's that, and then, you know, going in and summoning some demons and looking cool while doing it. And this, you're in this world filled with demons and gods, and it's, you know, it has this really good atmosphere, and then you have these anime characters in it doing the stuff that you would expect in, like, a Persona game, and I'm like, no, that doesn't fit here. Like, this does not mesh well at all. And I feel like the game, ends up not being as good because of shit like that. Again, it doesn't make the game bad, it's just, it effectively hurts the game's story, and also makes me like the story a little bit less in a couple of other ways, because the game effectively is trying to tell a story and say certain things that I truly don't really agree with or care about when it comes to these characters and this game. And it's clearly being a bit preachy with the friendship and the bonds and like everyone's together as a group and we can do this and shit. And I'm like, that just doesn't fit, you know? It doesn't mesh with me. I can't say it doesn't fit. These are the motherfuckers that made this game, so maybe I don't think I can necessarily have the carte blanche to say that, oh man, this doesn't work in this game that I have never made before. Has he been weak to electricity this whole time? This is what happens when you do Final Thoughts, right? You fuck up everything. Well, this is the reason I wasted a bunch of resources. My apologies, guys. I probably hit his weakness at one point before, but never actually noticed me getting the weakness. So, again, I'm sorry. I should have assumed because he looks like a human tornado. It's like he's swirling around and shit, so I should have fucking known. But I just feel like the stuff doesn't mesh well, and my biggest issues with the game always come from that, and nowhere else. Like everything else, the game, super fun time. But whenever they, you know, they start doing their stupid plot stuff, I start becoming less interested. And I'm like, can we get back to the cool stuff, like with the antagonists of the game, where they're saying interesting things? Also, the Akira stuff is also good. Like, literally the only shitty parts of the story, in my opinion, are anytime our party members speak. Anytime our party members that aren't Hallelujah or Gaston. Because those at least have a dynamic that makes sense. And that's not me trying to shit on female characters. Because, you know, female characters can be fine. There are moments where Asahi is actually a good character. Granted, we lost the recording where she comes back into the party and says, I want to be useful. I know I'm not as strong. I know that I rely on the main character. But I need to be with this group and show that I can do it. And there's moments like that where it works. With Nozomi, I feel like her character was already done before she even met us, so there's no real growth for her. It's just, she's the fairy queen, and she has a god inside her. And she basically orders everyone around on what to do, because I guess she's like she can take more of a motherly role with stuff. There's nothing really that interesting with her at all that I can be like, that I can point and say, that's the things I like about her. You want to know what I like about her? And no, it's not nothing. I like some of her dumb slang shit, like when she's like, what's up, home slice? Like shit like that, I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's like, I don't hate her, but she feels unnecessary. She doesn't feel like someone who should be in the main party. But then again, I'm also someone who does not think there should even be a main party. There doesn't need to be. There does not need to be a main party in a game like this. Like, you can have a couple of partners, I feel like, but the fact that we have like 7 or 8, it's like weird, you know? Like, Isabeau never really seems necessary. Like, whenever I, you know, is she even in our party anymore? Okay, yeah, she is. Like, I fucking don't know, you know? So it's like, it's like, she's fine. But sometimes you have to, like, look at some of these characters and, you know, and you go, are you really necessary? Do you have to, like, do you have to be here? Do you have a reason to be here? And stuff like that, you know?
This is the
and it's like, what do you provide? And I know what the game's trying to do is trying to build a party that you can connect with. Like this group that has Hallelujah, Asahi, Nozomi, and you know, Toki and all these characters, and they have this dynamic, they have this camaraderie, and then it, you know, it's like any other JRPG, from Final Fantasy to Persona to Star Ocean. You get these JRPG parties with their dynamic in the group, and everyone has their own like their own interests and their own feelings and relationships, and this game's trying to establish that. But in my opinion, you don't need that in Shin Megami Tensei. SMT4 didn't have that. You had Jonathan and Walter, and they both turn on you basically by the end, because, you know, the only ending that matters in that is neutral, even if I didn't get it. And the only person who's with you at that point is Isabeau. And even then, that's fine, because it's like you have a partner. And even then, you can even argue that she's not like some party member. She serves a purpose in the same way that Walter and Jonathan serve a purpose. She is the avatar of neutrality, in a way. And in this game, these guys aren't the avatars of any like specific alignment, in a way. I went to the wrong one. Like, you could argue that Nozomi my assumption is that you can do a good guy ending in this game, where it's like you do what Danu would want, where you would you know, not go with Dagda's plan, or you could go with Dagda's plan and then, you know, get this true freedom that he is advertising. And I feel like you could maybe argue that Nozomi represents that alignment, and you can argue that Gaston represents the alignment of law, and the chaos alignment is represented by Hallelujah, because he's a part of the Ashurakai. You could say that, and I could also say you have a good point with that, and on top of it, okay, real talk, you want to talk about how fucking scatterbrained I am when I do these final thoughts? There was a heal spot right here in this area. I skipped over it and then took the longest fucking route to go find healing that I think I got charged like $100 to do. But I would say that you are right in a way, and what's great about these characters is that they are better representations of an alignment than Walter and Jonathan are, where they're like, no, these are the hard characters. Their entire character is this alignment. Like, they at least tried a little bit to try and make you go like, oh, there's a little bit going on with Walter here. But aside from that, it's like they were just these husks of beings that are just these characters represent endings. And even Isabeau to a degree, you know? I feel like, so... Ultimately, my issues with this game come down to, just I don't like the anime party members in it, to be quite honest, and I think they're a good bit unnecessary. I feel like they don't offer much in the way of, like, improving the game. I feel like it's... That's good. That's a good way to say this. Like, it's like mixing, like, two foods you don't... that you like. Like, say you have two foods you like, right? And then imagine those two foods, like, together. And then it's, you know... It's like, you like these, but you rather have one right now or the other right now. And it just doesn't mix well, you know? It's like, you like milk, and you like soda. But are you gonna fucking pour a little bit of milk and pour a little bit of soda, and then fucking mix it and then drink it and go, yeah, this is it? It's like, no, you're not. And if you do, you're a fucking freak. Sorry. Sorry for calling you a freak. I'm just saying. But in terms of the gameplay is a master class of Shin Megami Tensei. The smirking system is another evolution of the press turn system that introduces a tough but fair and legitimate turn-based combat thing. It is enjoyable. I don't feel cheated whenever I'm losing to it, and the ability to have the DLC dungeons are good. But for the most part in the game, you don't even need them to grind properly. App system is good. The dungeons are good, even though many of the stuff in this game is repeated. Overall, the gameplay is the best SMT has been. And once again, it raises the bar for the game that... It's raising the bar to the point where we have to figure out, you know, we're going to figure out firsthand come February 14th, or those assholes who already know if they've imported it, whether or not Persona 5 will be the magnum opus of that developer and publisher, Atlas. Whether or not that's the ultimate, that is the thing, that is the new bar in turn-based RPGs, because to be honest, this is the bar. The bar in terms of, like, the best turn-based RPGs, it's Atlas. They make the best ones. If I could say, like, what do I like between Tokyo Mirage Sessions and this, it's really hard to say. They both offer a lot of good stuff. I'd say between which one edges it out, I might say I prefer this over Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I forget if I said if I preferred its combat style compared to this, though I feel like I was very in between on both the SMT's press turn style and the session system in that. I think I prefer this one a little bit more, just based on the fact that it's faster. One of the problems that Tokyo Mirage Sessions could have, in my opinion, is the fact that all of the combat that you need to do to get through things takes way too fucking long. Like, it's a good game, but it takes fucking forever to get anything done in that. I'm gonna fucking wipe.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, can you save me? Can you save me so I don't fucking game over here? But in the end, SMT4 and these just style of games are a lot faster. The combat in Tokyo Mirage Sessions just takes way too long to get going. My chances of escaping are even lower now somehow. Well, we lost. Goddamn. Goddamn. Anyway, that's basically all I wanted to say. So, that is going to do it for this video. We'll be back in the second area. Hold on. How much do I have to redo? That's my main question here. I have one here from Cosmic Egg first. Do I have to redo, like, everything from this episode? 95, 93... Yeah, I'm in the first area. Yeah, this is, like, right when the episode starts. So I lost all my progress. That's bad on me, but I'm actually kind of okay with it. Because sure, I have to redo shit, but I wasted a lot of items on that second fight, not knowing that it was weak to lightning because I'm retarded. So we're going to give it a better try next time. So I'm going to get back progress-wise. And to some of my final thoughts, this game's fantastic. But the anime stuff's real not great. Anyway, I'm excited to see the end of this game, and we will continue playing it in the next video. Thank you so much for watching SMT4 Apocalypse. I'll see you guys next time.